Chat! I'm so pleased watching that fucking game. I'm so pleased. What a finish. What a fucking final 0.1 second. What a joy. What a treat. Dat Guy Dury, thank you for the prime. God, that was fucking awesome. If you guys didn't see it, man, what a ending. Lakers were playing the Pacers. They were down by 1. LA was losing, and there was like 3 seconds left. There was no time. Is there a replay? Does anyone have a clip of it? Whoa, Ragnarok, thank you for the 100 gifted. Jesus Christ. A LeBron fan? A fellow LeBron fan? It's on the NBA subreddit. Please, you have to see it. Dude, so there's like 3 seconds left. They get the ball to Luka. Luka's double teamed. He jacks up a bad shot. Like a pretty objectively bad shot. This shot hits the rim and it's about to roll off and Lakers lose. And then out of nowhere, Christ-like, I'll say, similar to what Jesus Christ would do, LeBron floats up and tips it in with 0.1 seconds left. 0.1 second left. Oh my God. Oh my God, dude. You gotta watch the clip. Let's find this clip. Here it is. Okay, wait. The real big three. And they got Luka, Don, A. Reeves, and then LeBron. Look. Oh my God, this is so fun.
Luka with 2 for the win. LeBron James at the
Dude, everyone's stunned. They're like, does it even count? Does it count?
buzzer.
Count it. Rack it.
He says rack it up. LeBron James, not always there when you call, but always on time.
Dude, there's a replay from a different angle that's so incredible. It's really like, look, if he touches it after this goes red, it doesn't count. Look how close it is. Look how close it is. Look how close it is, dude. If he touches it after the shot clock gets over, it's like 0.1. Ah, dude, what a fire ending. What a fire ending. That's the hand of God. That's... Where's the jersey? I just recorded the pod, or otherwise I would be wearing it. I just came back from the pod. I watched the last half of the Lakers game, and then I went live. All right, busy day. They have the hardest job in the world. Good episode of the pod, by the way. I'm excited for you guys to see it tomorrow. I think it'll be good. Is Aiden not in Japan? Aiden's back. He was in and out of Japan. He landed in Japan, did the pod, left, came back. He was in Japan for like all of 2 days, and he was talking today like he's fucking Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. Aiden was walking around like glorious Nippon Des is his new fucking homeland, and he understands the culture on a deeper level because he got outside of Tokyo and saw the real part of Japan. Bro, you were there for less than a weekend. Atrioc, a month ago, they only traded Luka to build a gambling imperium. The game's gone. Atrioc today, bang. What you don't understand is I'm a Lakers fan. So yes, the twisted machinations of Luka Doncic's trade are bad for the league, but they're really good for me. It's been so fun to watch, except for recently they've been losing. I thought today they would lose again and break my heart, and it was such a clutch, just a classic LeBron James moment. That tip-in is on the highlight reel, dude. That's on his career highlight reel, and he's got so many. Atrioc, are you a fan of lakes? What's your favorite lake? Don't get me started again, bro. We already did like 50 minutes on this a couple streams ago. We did an insane lakes deep dive. I don't know if anyone was here, but we went deep on lakes. We were talking about which countries had the most lakes, what was the biggest lake, what was the deepest lake. It was wild. They should rename Michigan to LeBron. They should. You're not even wrong. You're not even wrong. They should. One of the states, we have 50 states and not one of them is named LeBron. It's crazy. Who runs the Clips channel? They need a raise. They got you a sub. I do. I'll run all my channels. I do all my own editing. I guess it's kind of a cool thing of me to do just to like stay hustling. But yeah, if you ever see a video that has me in it, I did the editing and I did all the work for it. If you mean the Big A channel, it's Adish. Adish does it. He does an amazing job. Adish is an incredible member of the team. I'm very glad to be working with him. I mean, the Clips channel is doing unreal good, to be honest. I already glaze him enough, so I don't need to say it anymore, but there's just no reason for a Clips channel to be doing that well. You know, the fucking... It's just 9 minutes of yap, usually. And it's getting 300,000 views sometimes. That's crazy. Hey, thanks for the gift, these High Octane 98. Appreciate that. Did you have a message? You said who runs the Clip channel? Oh, yeah. Well, it's Adish. Told you. Yeah, that's... First time here. Love your vids, man. Really has me more aware. Thanks. Too good for you. Not an incredible day to join. I think I'm a little off kilter today because I just did the podcast. So today is going to be more chill, more relaxed, more vibe. Might play a game. Might watch some vids. I don't know. I kind of I'm not bringing a lot of news to you today. I read a lot today, but then I talked about it on the pod. So I don't want to just talk about today and then you guys all, if you listen to the pod, listen to the same thing tomorrow. Like I could do I made a slideshow. My first totally unique for the pod slideshow. I did a 50 slideshow on the changing state of the movie industry. And I did it for the podcast. Should be out tomorrow. So if you like Marketing Mondays, I think it's a good intro and discussion and check that out. It should be good. I got a question for you though on that. I didn't really discuss it. Who here is going to go see the Minecraft movie? Be honest. And I don't mean like watch it on stream. I mean like go to the theater and see it. Who's going to go to a theater and see the Minecraft movie? I'm going opening night. Okay, so small spoiler, but I crunched the numbers. And as you may know if you watch my Big A Clips channel, the movie Nuja 2 in China is the biggest Chinese movie release ever, the biggest animated movie ever, and easily the biggest movie this year. So, unless the Minecraft movie does absolute banger numbers, then for the first time, China will have the #1 film of the year. A real era shift. I think breaking America's possibly unbroken streak for a long time. So very interesting. It's only March. Yeah, but there's not many 2 billion movies that come along. You know what I'm saying? There's basically 2 ever. Avatar and Avengers Endgame and Nuja 2. That's it, dude. Those are the 3. And so unless Avatar, Titanic's gonna get beaten. Titanic is getting passed by Nuja 2. Avatar is releasing this year, but I'm doubting that Avatar 3 will make more money than Avatar 2, which made less than Avatar 1. So, got to say his name. His name is LeBron James. God, what a fucking dude! I wish Ari could come in here and tell you. I was for the first time in my life, dude. I was acting like my dad. I was sitting on the couch bitching about the game. I was on the couch bitching about the game. I was like, oh, come on. Luka, hit those. I was like, that's what my dad used to do. That shit's crazy. You just suddenly, you wake up one day and you're bitching about the game. And I was sitting there and I was about to be sad that they were going to last second lose. And then LeBron tips it in. What a joy. What a treat. You wake up one day and you're watching a mid-season game. I know. We'll see how long this lasts. I mean, right now I've watched every game of the season, but I might not keep it up. I might be more of a playoffs guy later. Do you like Star Wars? Yeah, I like Star Wars. Why? Big A, it's my birthday. Can I get a happy 30th? I'll do you one better. Jack, can we get a happy 30th to this old fuck? Popeye the VR man is in the 30s, 1 foot in the grave. Me and Popeye, dude. We're fucking at the nursing home. Happy birthday, Popeye the VR man. Haha, 30 so old, not like me, 27. That is unironically how 27-year-olds think, though. 27-year-olds go like fucking Lamau 30, not even, couldn't be me. It's like, bro, you're basically 30. What are you, 27? There's no functional difference. 27 and 30, you grew up with the same console. You know, it's like, you're not in a different generation. You grew up with the same fucking consoles. Gonna be 28 in May. Might as well order the casket already. Good to order it early. Or good to get ready, you know? Pick out a plot of land. Year of Kindness reminder. I actually like these. I think these kind of jokes make people more comfortable with the reality of aging. Everyone ages. It's not a big deal. It's certainly not some arbitrary line somewhere between 20 and 35. Zoomers are 28 now. What is Zoomers are 97 to 2012. So the oldest Zoomer is what? 28. Yeah, wow. The oldest Zoomers are 28, but those guys are honorary fucking millennials. If you're 28, you're absolutely welcome at the function, okay? If you're 28, you can eat, you're a day walker. If you're 28, you had a fucking VCR. You know what I'm saying? You're not truly a Zoomer. There really is two different kinds of Zoomers. And I will, what's the best way to describe this? Let's see. I think I had a good example here. No, it's like I don't know if I can ever find it. It's based on media. Someone had a really good example. I saw it. It's like two types of Zoomers. I guess it's like pre-iPhone early, post-iPhone early. But you could just tell by their Phineas and Ferb or not. Pre and post Dragon Tales. Yeah, it could be a DS/3DS situation. It really could be a DS versus 3DS as your fucking DS is Gen Z. I know. But there's like Gen Z is the one where the split happened. Is what I honestly think. Like I don't think there's a big difference between millennials and older Gen Z. But somewhere in the middle of Gen Z, the Fire Nation attacked. Okay? Somewhere in the middle of Gen Z is when the Fire Nation changed everything. And there's a magnified difference. A huge culture shift. 9/11? No, not 9/11. The Gen Z shift is being consciously aware of the '08 recession. Maybe. I don't think kids pay attention to that anyway. Like I obviously was old enough to live through it, and I don't. It's not like I was super consciously aware. I knew on the TV what was happening, but when you're a kid, it's tough to like understand. Now, things happen around you. I mean, like if your parents have to move or your house fucking gone, like that would make a memory, but all I knew was Halo 2 was rad as hell. I mean, yeah, sort of what I remember too. Divide with Zoomers who went to high school in COVID. I mean, that's a big divide in general. I don't even know if that's. But yeah, if COVID hit you in high school, then it is a different world for you. 100%. 100%. If you lost junior, senior year to COVID, you're in a different generation. It's like it's a totally different spot. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's different. It's like definitely your experience is so different that you have a different worldview than someone in the same generation as you. I mean, it's bad, but it's not like it's decides your outcome. I'm just saying like it's different. Missing first years of college or last year of high school is insanely awful. Yeah, I agree. I truly think like missing senior year of high school or junior or freshman year of college to COVID is so damaging. Because for me personally, those were two of the most important like socialization years. Like I honestly don't know. I would be me in junior year of high school. I was a worse person socially, and those were the years I learned things and expanded things, and I had opportunities to fail and grow. And so like having them taken away from you and then forced to sit at home and play video games, while fun in the moment, is like very atrophying to those skills. I was a much better student before COVID, and then I became dumb once I got used to cheating online tests with ChatGPT. That's really before COVID. That's like after ChatGPT. That's like COVID or not. Um, your league year was basically a COVID year. That's actually facts. That's true. I did have a league year, but my league year wasn't freshman year. So in college, freshman year, I was actually the one where I like made some friends and socialized and found some groups, and then that helped save me when sophomore year I became a league addict. And again, sophomore year, I wouldn't say it's totally ruined just yet. Junior year, it's ruined. Sophomore year is the transition year where I'm doing both. People don't know. That's when I started, I believe, dating Ari. And she didn't even know how much I was addicted to League. And then by junior year, I was a full-on addict. And then IPL 6 happens at the end of that. And then senior year, I try to clean it all up. Senior year, I try to like get back on track. I remember losing a league game freshman year, and my two roommates came back wasted, looking like they had some fun at 2 a.m. Then I quit League. Dude, my story's sort of similar, which is like, there was one Saturday. I mean, I had many reasons to want to quit, including a big fight with my dad and a lot of problems. But like, there was one Saturday where I knew my friends were doing stuff, and I avoided it to play League all day, dawn till dusk. And I was gross, and my room was dirty. And at the end of the day, I was like dead even, down one game. Like I was down 11 LP or something. Like I did the whole day, dawn till dusk, the entire day, and I made no progress. I actually lost one, and I remember thinking like, "What the fuck am I doing?" Like, I remember like getting really mad at myself. Like, what the fuck am I doing? What is the point of this? And I got so mad, and that's when I quit. That was the first time I quit. Obviously, I probably relapsed many times, but like that was my first real quitting where I was like, I got to focus on some other shit. Because that, you start to realize that like you only get so many Saturdays or whatever. It's like, and it was a nice day. That's also, it was like a really nice day, and I was like, damn, I just fucking blew it. I blew the whole thing. Also, I still had shit to do, like homework and stuff. So like I had just made my Sunday more miserable because I didn't do anything. I did nothing productive. I didn't do anything fun. Oh man, that day lives in my mind forever because I remember thinking. And what's so funny is if I had just won like 3 more games than I lost, I'd probably be like, this is great. Like if I had just won, if I had gone, 10-7 that day, I would be like, yeah, fucking good Saturday, progress. The goal is working. It's only sad if every game was solo queue. I don't remember what it is. Well, for me, every game was solo queue. So it was pretty sad. Obviously, if you're playing games with friends, it's so different. Life is too short to worry about optimizing every minute. If you're playing ARAM with your buddies and you're on Discord laughing, that's fucking great. Like, who gives it? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're playing Repo with friends or whatever, that's all good. You're never gonna regret that. But I think it's the grinding solo queue that you really got to watch out for, because it's like it addicts a certain type of person and brain, and it's almost never worth it. Me with Pokemon Showdown. Pokemon Showdown's fun. Isn't Charlie been addicted lately? 1 second. So it's frustrating because I do it on stream so you guys don't spam Yep Coke, but you do that anyway, but then you also make a big deal about it. There's no way to do it. Either I go off stream and it's, I muted too. I did nothing. Next Lemonade Stand comes out tomorrow at 1 p.m., I believe. 1 p.m. Pacific. Mr. Slow Bicycle, thank you for the nice message. Appreciate it. Do you guys mind? I need to finish my my bites here. Can we watch something short and enjoy it? How about how about wait a minute, hold up. New Andor trailer? I'm trying to avoid Andor trailers because I don't want any spoilers. I want to go in. Charizard, they have the 29 months. I think you know my thoughts on that. I think you know my that. My friend recommended a new podcast with that Atrioc guy apropos of nothing today. Words getting around. That's fire. It's good to hear. That Atrioc guy is funny. Yeah, I think the podcast is really fun. I enjoy it. I like doing it. I like the structure. I like spending time with Aiden and Doug. I think it's, I feel proud of the work. I like it. I want to keep doing it. There's a New Japan analysis?
本日の激レアさん
No way. This is really old. I think we've already seen this one. Please fix your camera focus before I go insane. Is that better? I got it. We're good?
In March 2025,
Oh, muted. Okay, wait. Let's watch a Fire Ship. Short. Fire Ship is short. Let's watch Fire Ship.
the programming world went mad with a disease called
Dude, I'm not a manager. Stop. 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 I'm not a manager. I'm not a manager. Why does this thing exist? Why does it fucking...
in March 2025.
It shouldn't be part of their feature.
The programming world went mad with a disease called the vibe coding mind virus. For those who have not yet been infected, vibe coding is a term coined by ex-OpenAI wizard Andrej Karpathy, where you fully give in to the vibes, embrace exponentials, and forget that the code even exists. This term has taken the world by storm, and virtually every code influencer on the internet right now is following in the footsteps of Apex indie hacker Peter Levels, who recently vibe coded a crappy real-time flight simulator MMO with JavaScript. Then he leveraged his large Twitter following to sell in-game advertisements and make a ton of money. You gotta respect the pure tech bro genius here, but the problem is that now everybody is vibe coding crappy games and flooding the internet with more and more AI generated slop. But according to the CEO of Anthropic, this is the way. He recently stated that in just 12 months, virtually all code will be written by AI.
Okay, I want to pause here. I tried this game.
And it's just the tech bro Twitter following.
I tried this flying game. It was horrendous. It was horrendous. It was so laggy and didn't work. I mean, it was truly horrendous. Like, I'm not opposed to the idea. I totally think there's some potential here, especially for prototyping. But this game was not, there's no way he's consistently making 87K a month. Maybe he has a big Twitter following and got like one big time boost. But there's no way the player-based numbers are holding steady month over month. This game was near unplayable, and it was horrendous.
To sell in-game advertisements and make a ton of money. You gotta respect the pure tech bro genius here, but the problem is that now everybody is vibe coding crappy games and flooding the internet with more and more AI-generated slop. But according to the CEO of Anthropic, this is the way. He recently stated that in just 12 months, virtually all code will be written by AI. And in today's video, we'll look at real-life examples of when vibe coding goes wrong, and check out some awesome tools and techniques to help you vibe properly. It is March 26, 2025, and you're watching the Code Report. The first thing you need to realize is that coding and programming are not the same. Coding is the skill of translating logic into instructions for a computer by writing code. An elite coder might be able to bang out 100 words per minute of perfect C code in Vim purely from memorized syntax, but large language models are making this skill obsolete. An 8-year-old prompter can now write code faster than a skilled professional with 20 years of experience. But programming is a far broader skill that's hard to describe. It's both an art and a science that requires ingenuity, creativity, and good instincts gained through experience. The best programmers often spend more time removing code than writing code. And if you don't understand the code you're vibing out like a true programmer, you won't get very far. Like this poor guy on the internet vibe coded a SaaS product and even had paying customers, which is a huge achievement for an indie hacker. Upon learning about his success, the trolls of the internet came out and...
I will say this has been my experience from working with coders, in that the ones that get paid the most and were most respected were not the people doing the most, but the people who were most efficient. The golf is the example I use, but there's people at NVIDIA too. But like golf is the one I talked about. So like he was the code deleter. He would take somebody's shitty, super long code and make it really optimized and spend a lot of time like making it perfect. So,
removing code than writing code. And if you don't understand the code you're vibing out like a true programmer, you won't get very far. Like this poor guy on the internet vibe coded a SaaS product and even had paying customers, which is a huge achievement for an indie hacker. Upon learning about his success, the trolls of the internet came out and hacked it to pieces. Quote, random thing are happening, maxed out usage on API keys, people bypassing the subscription, creating random shit on DB. This is taking me longer than usual to figure out. Ultimately, the app was taken down permanently, and the guy had to beg for his job back at Popeye. Sadly, there are many such cases, but when done properly, vibe coding can work. And I think it's only a matter of time before we see a billion-dollar business that runs entirely on vibes, which will likely be built with tools like V0 or Bolt, along with AI IDEs like Cursor and Windsurf. But if you choose to vibe max your code with tools like these, I would highly recommend following these 3 rules. Rule number 1, choose a popular, simple tech stack. Something like React, Express, Tailwind, Redis, and Dino should be ideal for web dev. Right. The reality is that these LLMs are best at solving problems that people have already solved on places like GitHub, Stack Overflow, etc. And that means even though you hate React, trying to use that fancy new JavaScript framework is going to kill your vibes. Actually, screw that, my preferred choice is Svelte, but I've actually been getting really good vibe coding results with Vue.js and Nuxt. So this rule is breakable. Rule number 2, though, is not breakable, and that is to get good at Git. When AI takes control of your code, that means it also has the power to delete your working code. And when that happens, it's almost impossible to prompt it back into existence. Okay. However, if you're disciplined and use version control, you would have stashed that good working code somewhere safe. In fact, you can use tools like Claude Code to vibe commit your code for you, or check out my full Git course if you want to learn it by hand. But the most important rule is rule number 3. Ask not what your AI can do for you, but what can you do for your AI. You're not a coder anymore, you're a product manager. And if you want to be a good one, you need to break down complex requirements into small steps. They should be highly specific and also provide the proper context to solve the problem, like recent documentation and images for UI design. It might sound like a vibe killer, but you don't want your LLM to get creative. You want it to be as deterministic as possible. As a developer who's highly skilled in building failed side projects, I've never felt more powerful. That being said, I think relying on vibes only is still a bad idea. Like the Levels Flight Simulator had all kinds of issues, and it likely would have failed miserably if it weren't for the developers' many years of experience as a foundation. But now that you know how to vibe code like a true professional, you also need to know how to write like a true professional. And the best tool to get you there is Grammarly.
Grammarly! Interesting. I mean, that's not very much new information, but Interesting. We're hiring new people at work, and they'll have a CS degree with great grades, but don't understand what a for loop is. Well, I don't know what a for loop is either, but I assume it's pretty basic, and they're not getting it because they've been vibe coding. Day one. Day one! So you're saying every good coder is in a way Squeex. Is that what you're trying to say? In a way, to become good at coding, you must become good at storming the Capitol or otherwise. Is that? That makes a lot of sense. That actually tracks a lot. Are you going to take Squeex to the Rift tomorrow? Oh, that's a good thing we could do real quick. What game should I challenge Squeex to tomorrow in our, what I'm calling bald versus bald. In the bald versus bald showdown. What do you think would be a good... Let's see. What we got? We got Hitman. How would you do that 1v1? Hitman 1v1? I mean, there's some kind of handicap I could give him. I don't even know how we'd do this. We could do like freelancer who would get the farthest. I do hardcore. He does regulars. I don't know. That's good. Chess for sure. Geo guesser seems pretty fun. RPS, that's a good one. RPS. Teardown would take forever. It's got to be kind of quick games. Like Battleship. StarCraft 2, you think you can play that? I'll just put others in case. StarCraft 2 would be very funny. Melee? It's he's not going to have a chance in Melee. He's not going to have a chance. Is he going to do Counter-Strike? Probably. Well, if he does Counter-Strike, then I should do fucking Melee. Get to Work should be on there. We should definitely do another Get to Work race. Type Racer, that's a good one. Type Racer. Tricky Towers. That's like Tetris. Human Benchmark. That's kind of funny. Human Benchmark is pretty funny. Shardbound. I have 3,800 hours in Shardbound, and he's never played the game once. Dead even. Oh, Pokemon Showdown. Does he play Pokemon? Has Squeex ever played Pokemon? Does he even know the rules or the typing? Randomized Pokemon Showdown will be fire. He might get lucky. You can't get lucky in Shardbound. I'm sorry. It's just too skilled of a game. Do you think I would have beat Solafid in a green mirror if the game was based on luck? Look at my fucking face. I didn't even realize the camera was on, so I turned it off. Look at this 34-minute battle between the two highest ranked players on the ladder. Three HP, 6 HP. A fucking razor's edge. A razor's edge of a game. And then Come on. Oh, you conceded. Oh, peak, peak, peak. Is this a mobile game ad? You wouldn't understand it. You wouldn't understand the level that went on at that. The fucking... Actually, wait a minute. You're not going to get this, but I'm going to show you anyway. This might be the single greatest game of Shardbound ever played. And I'm just going to show you the impossible. Wait. No. Hold up. There it is. Okay. Look at this fucking... This is 6 years ago. Okay? Wow, that last move was incredible. For me, it was lost. Okay? Look at the final move of this game. Wait, where is it?
In a good position.
Oh, I'm watching Melee in the background.
That's gonna do it. All right, last stock.
Look how over it is. I want you to understand what's going on in this game. This is a fucking incredible... The enemy has 10 HP. If your hero dies, you lose. I have 4 HP. Your units can only move 3 tiles. So I have no way of doing 10 damage. There's no way. Look at the cards in my hand. There is no way to do 10 damage. And if I don't do 10 damage, this thing will hit me and kill me. That's it. I'm dead. I have 1 turn to figure this out. And I just sit there and I think. And I think. And I think. Oh, wait, he finished his turn. Okay, he even took a dancer to move. Look, like, there's a wall of units, a wall of rocks. This unit cannot hit him. This unit cannot hit him. This unit can walk up here and shoot for 1 damage. So how do I kill him? Think, Atrioc, think. Look at me, I'm thinking so hard, my brain is cooking.
Yeah. Yep, the upper will definitely do it.
So that was a dead if you do, dead if you don't situation. Basically, on that down throw, if DI's out, he's going to get flared and died. DIing in is a little bit more ambiguous if he's able to hit the platform first. But great quick reaction out by Pup to get the upper.
Analyze.
Very respectable.
Analyze.
Alrighty. So now,
holy fuck. He's soul shiftering the Phalanx leader from here to here. It can just walk here. Why would you do that?
I could have won that game. I'm going to prove it this time around.
If you stand next to the Phalanx leader, you get +1 damage. He walks up here to get 2 to take him to 8. But that's still not enough.
Oh, wow. Following the second up air with an up smash. Staying on top.
Then he dancers the shade out of the way. Moves the Phalanx leader there to get 3. And then moves the distorter right there to get the last 5 because it gets the +1. Unreal. Unreal. Unfucking real. There's never been a fucking finish like that. It's the greatest ending. It's the fucking Shardbound Olympics. Gold medal brain blast. What a legendary game. I swear to God. No idea what I just saw at cinema. So anyway, I'm gonna challenge Squeex to that. Minecraft RTS could be fun. Doesn't seem fair to him though, because I already played one. I don't know what Squeex is like a. What kind of games does he play? We could do Mario somehow. Mario with a handicap for me or for him because I'm a better speedrunner. Has he played any RTS games? Warcraft 3 would be really fun if he has. Warcraft 3 would be fun. Fortnite 1v1. Fortnite 1v1 is very funny. A Fortnite 1v1 is very funny. I think me versus Squeex Fortnite 1v1 would be fucking heat. What about Fall Guys? Fall Guys? The problem is the games I would guaranteed win at will not be fun. Like if I do like Magic or I do TFT or I do Shardbound or I do StarCraft or I do League of Legends, we could do it maybe, but oh, Cine to Nerdle. Cine to Nerdle. That'd be good. Or Melee. I'll put these as like if I need a W. Balloons? I don't know how we could do balloons. I don't know how we could do a balloons 1v1. Yeah, but Balloons TD Battle, I think it's like pay to win or something. You have to have like a. I remember this whole thing happening when me and Stans wanted to do it. You have to like set up an account and unlock the things and. Shawarma Legend. Listen, I don't give Squeex a lot of credit, but Squeex is untouchable in these. Shawarma Legend. Assaulting the capital of the United States. Like in these two things, I'm not going to challenge him. Because he's just got too much practice. Dress to Impress doesn't really seem objective, but I'll put it on here. Dress to Impress. Oh, the accent game? Accent game seems fun. Accent game would be fun. Okay, accent game would be fun. For sure, the accent game would be fun. Just feels like a little bit biased towards me. Like I'm more likely to get canceled from it. Jackbox Party, that could be fun. Oh, Bomberman. Bomberman 64 is the GOAT game. Jackbox put on there. Oh, there's a lot of good stuff here. This is definitely enough to like stock game. What if me and Squeex both pick a stock and buy 0 day till expiration options to see who can make the most money in 1 hour? What if we both gamble on the fucking picosecond movement of stocks? That's literally just slot machine. How's this doing, by the way? Jesus. It's a massacre. It's a bloodbath. Oh, lad, I saw a lot of good men die in that contest. Bro, Stans hit 5th? What happened? Doug's back. If you're above -4.7, you're actually beating the market. Doug and Aiden are beating the market. And Ludwig had Trump coin. Otherwise, he would be positive, I think. Yeah, he would. Pretty significantly. So Stans is just taking that. It's Reddit. It's just Reddit. Reddit, TSMC in a tie. Oh, speaking of that, wait, good relevant transition to an actual piece of news. Taiwan did like these big military drills today. As like a show of, hey, US and China, we're fucking strong. Mobilized they held the first realistic and comprehensive civil defense drill to convince a skeptical U.S. of its commitment to strengthening itself against what both see as a growing threat from China. It's just, I don't know how else to say this. Like, we all are confident in the short term China will not aggress on Taiwan. But almost everyone is equally confident that in the long term they eventually will. So it's like, it's this weird double standard in our minds where we're all like, no, it's not going to happen, but we do know it will eventually happen. Because they keep, like, they're not spending all the money and all the time and all the effort and all the threats for no reason. Like, they are, it's like, yeah, it's Schrodinger's invasion. It's such a weird spot to be in where everyone's status, even China wants the status quo of nothing to happen, but with the tacit agreement that something will eventually happen. It is kind of like climate change, actually. The way you put it is kind of interesting. It is like climate change. It's like it's not gonna, like, we'll still have winter this year, but like, it is kind of like Clancyville in a way, which is like run from it, hide from it, no matter what, your land gets swallowed up. I'm sorry, what? This is from the Reddit? This is from the Reddit. Breaking news from the Atrioc Reddit. I'm editor-in-chief of the Atlantis, and I was unintentionally added to a Signal chat that included in top-level advisors of James Atrioc Ewing. Here are Clancyville attack plans that Atrioc's advisors accidentally shared to me on Signal. In these screenshots I've shared, you will see the communication between figureheads that you may already be familiar with regarding their coordinated strike against Clancyville. I'm not here to take sides, but it's my journalistic duty to share this crucial lapse in OPSEC to the broader community. Aiden Calvin. Team, I'm out for the day doing a yard ep with the boys, but I think we're making a mistake. 3% of lemons run through Clancyville. 40% of the coffee trade does. There's a real risk the chatters don't understand this or why it's necessary. The strongest reason to do this is, as the coffee cow said, to send a message. But I'm not sure the Big A is aware of how inconsistent this is with his message on Canada right now. There's a further risk we see moderate to a severe spike in liquid death price. Oh, Squeex. As we stated in the first chat, we had a fundamental decision of allowing the lemonade stand to close or to reopen them now or later. We're the only ones with the capability, unfortunately. From a messaging standpoint, we absolutely add this to of horribles on why the Canadians must invest in their glizzies. What? Did Squeex have a stroke in that line? Doesn't make any sense. At Doug, if you think we should do this, let's go. I just hate bailing Canada out again. Let's make sure our messaging is tight here. I fully share your loathing of Canadian freeloading. It's pathetic. But Squeex is correct. We're the only ones who can do this. Nobody else is close. Stands, as I heard it, the coffee cow was clear. E.g., if Canada send coffee, then what? I get it. I think I get the general idea. We launched the first glizzy package. Strike Balloons launch GH Ewings. What's crazy is this is all real. Like, I'm joking and laughing and pretending to you guys that this is a joke, but I'm actually inside, I'm seething at this getting leaked. This is like a huge breach of security for what was originally a top secret operation. And then Squeaks with the hot dog American flag coffee emoji. Well, that's all real. I hate that it's figured out, but it wasn't classified. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't classified. What is this? Please do this. Which member of Houthi PC small group are you? You're in charge of naming the top secret group chat. What are you calling it? Hottie PC small group. Make Europe pay again. High level discussion. No jokes. Freedom Strike Go team. Team chat. I guess Freedom Strike Go team. What's your go-to group chat move? Quietly wait to deliver one cold-blooded paragraph that ends the conversation. Panic quietly and wonder if this is entrapment. Type out your real opinion, delete it, and send whatever POTUS wants. Start typing, pause, delete, then text someone privately. I have a bad feeling about Latvia. Quote your last message, rephrase it identically, and post again. I don't. In actual text, I'm a menace. In that I don't respond. Which one of these types the least? I'm a menace in group chats because I'm a leech, really. I absorb all the fun of them, but don't contribute. Is it one? I'm one. That actually probably is what I'm like. What's your favorite emoji combo? Of these? I mean, in real life, it's this. I use the pray emoji a lot. I don't do vampire, no Europe. That's a fire one, though. But I mean, real life, that would be me, is the prayer. How do you usually leave a party? After posting a group selfie that definitely shouldn't see the light of day with the caption, "We're clean on OPSEC." After realizing this wasn't your party and you weren't invited. After you realize you'll oversleep for mass tomorrow morning if you don't go to bed now. You leave after cleanup and enforcing lights out at 10 p.m. because you're a narc. It's this one. I didn't go to the party because I was too busy reading The Art of War and Atlas Shrugged side by side. This is like not even a... This is so accurate. What's your approach to workplace mistakes? Blame Europe, almost certainly. Say I'm willing to support the consensus of the team and sweat visibly. Deny everything even when your finger's still on the button. Suggest the mistake was a false flag by Western media. That also kind of works. Repeat a prepared line of media training 6 times until everyone agrees to move on. I think it's blame Europe. Choose your battle cry. We are go for strike. Weather is favorable. Godspeed. I will say a prayer for victory. Let's dispel with this fiction. I'm not Secretary of State. Am I supposed to be here? I do not act on behalf of any foreign government. I think it's this one. How do you resolve disagreements in the group text? Say I'll support the consensus and pray no one screenshots. Leave without saying anything. Write a viral expose. Leak the thread on Twitter. Accuse someone of echoing CIA propaganda. Then drop a long link to a Belarusian Substack. This is honestly what I would do. Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. I think I just did this. I was talking about China with Aiden and I linked him someone's Substack. Like I just did this. So that's pretty real. What inside joke haunts your top secret military group chat? Calling every missile freedom fries and every Operation Extreme Vengeance 4. At this point, you're beginning to think the group chat's inside joke is that you're inside the group chat. You signed your messages from Moscow with love and no one's 100% sure it's a bit. Whenever your typing bubble stays on for too long, someone asks if you're calling POTUS. You once typoed Houthis as hotties and someone turned it into a sticker. I guess it's this one since I freedom fries a lot. All right, last one. You realize a journalist is in your top secret chat. What do? Text, is POTUS aware? Then I support the team. Then what? Pretend you wanted to leak to send a message. Reply, welcome? and ask if they've ever considered the Russian perspective on transparency. Tell everyone to focus on the mission, then send a link to Operation Justice Blast final PDF. Freeze and reboot, and then recite there was no classified information. There was no classified information. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I guess this one. No! I'm Stephen Miller? Oh, no! The worst option? Oh, I got the bad ending. Yuck. The Phantom of the West Wing. You haven't smiled since Brexit. Great. I was 29% Pete too, so that's great. Oh, never mind. I see this. This is so most people are Pete's. Okay? Most people are Pete's or Tulsi's. Interesting. And I guess I got the baldest one. It's not a surprise that I would take that quiz and end up with the baldest one in the group chat. I think I have that tie too. You're like what Pete Hegseth is to alcohol, but for coffee. Okay. You're saying I'm a coffeeholic? Let me turn on the fucking air. It's hot as shit in here. He's going over there to moo. Why would I go off camera to moo? If I wanted to moo, I could just mute. You'd never be able to prove it. You didn't hear it. Bro didn't mute. Imagine I didn't mute. You need to see this Elon tweet. That's rarely true, but I will make an exception. Oh no, dude. They're doing another $1 million award for supporting our petition against activist judges in Wisconsin. Bro is... If you guys don't know, anytime one of the things they force down mid in the government gets blocked by a judge, often by a Republican judge, Elon Musk claims that they're violating democracy and we have to impeach the judge, which is sort of a violation of every checks and balances rule the country was built on. And now I guess they're going back to the $1 million lottery well, which I feel like people would be mad at if George Soros did it. Not my goat, though. Not my goat. Fellas! Wait, is there a Coney raid? No, I think he just ended. But anyway, Coney, I did get a Coney raid. Coney raid! Oh, an honor and a pleasure that I was just talking to Coney. I think Coney and I are going to be doing a rematch at Sporkle Quizzes, and we're going to do it soon. What did Coney do today? What was Coney's fucking MO today? Did he train child soldiers? What did he do? Bootleg games? They want to be him soap. We looked at shitty bootleg games. Okay. All right. All right. I appreciate that. Well, we're just talking about goings and comings in the world. But I saw a Coney stream recently that was fucking getting me torqued. Okay? Getting me worked up. Yeah, just flirt. Yeah, just like a flirty. It was a flirty vibe for sure. Atrioc is like if Coney was a finance bro instead of a theater kid. That's actually not too far off. It is surprising though because Coney as a theater kid is still strange. Like he's not really a theater kid. I don't even. It's not hard. What do you call him? Because he's not. He doesn't fit the normal theater kid vibe. He's a different animal, a different beast. He's Coney. He's the jock theater kid. He actually might very well be that. Yeah, you know what? That's what he is. No, somebody said this. He's a carnival huckster. Honestly, that's what Coney is. Coney is a carny. That's what he most resembles. He's like, he's like always trying to keep the energy up, but to grift you in some way. He is most similar to that of a carny. He's Mark Carney. Yeah, he's running for president or prime minister of. Do you ever think about the economy? Not me. Not on this stream. He trots out his 5 funny phrases every YouTube video we watch. Well, we do that here too. Coffee Cal Moo. Where's my fucking... All right, folks. Yeah, we got Glizzy, we got Yepcoke, we got the whole fucking 9 yards in this stream. I did want to play a fucking video game, but I'm not sure which one. Has Coney ever talked about Clancyville? I feel like people on Coney's stream don't even fully understand what Clancyville is. He wouldn't dare. Do you think he's not brave enough? Is it possible that Coney is afraid of Dan Clancy and his mega city and therefore lives in silence? I don't think Coney ever mentioned Clancy's name. Yikes. Listen, Conesters. If you hear from Coney's stream, you have to understand is that Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch, owns a mega city. Slightly bigger than Tokyo. It's one of the world's great cities, and he rules it with an iron fist. He's domineering in that respect. So many people, it has its own Tiananmen Square. Many. Tiananmen Square is a small potatoes compared to what goes on in fucking Clancyville Rhombus. And we, on my stream, are trying to keep people informed. We're trying to fucking push back and fight back. And it feels like it's a losing battle. Random captions. Thank you for the 15 months. Clancyville's not a bit. I go back and forth between Coney and Atrioc like they're my divorced parents. Imagine having 2 divorced gay dads and it's me and Coney. You would be so depressed. Both your gay dads are balding Twitch streamers. It's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. It's just not, it's a tough spot to be in. Double Christmas? I'm stingy. Like, well, obviously I'll get you gifts if you're staying with me on Christmas. But if you're staying with Coney on Christmas, it's socks. You're getting socks. If you stay with me on Christmas, you're getting a Nintendo Switch too. Okay? and fun gifts. You're getting games with it too. It's gonna be a fun. Poggies, you bought my love. This might be a sensitive question, but I do want to ask it. Does anyone in chat have divorced parents who did something like this? Where they over splurged on gifts to buy your love or affection from the other parent? I pay my father for love and affection. Okay, speak to that. You pay him? Are you talking about Northern Lion or your actual father? No, but I once caught my dad cheating and he bought me a PS4. Dude. Kid setting his dad up on clandestine dates so he can shame him into buying him something. You're trying to get your dad to cheat so you can... That's crazy, dude. That's fucking horrendous. I'm a bastard. My dad used to have me on summers and we would go to Disney and shopping and a whole bunch. Why does that make you a bastard? How's that bad and how's that your fault? It sounds like your dad wanted to live it up while he had you for the summers. You mean you're a literal bastard. Okay. You mean like the classical definition of bastard out of wedlock. I thought you meant like, I'm a fucking bastard, dude. I'm a bastard, but I actually loved hanging out with my old man. I was like, you're not a bastard. You're fine. God, I'm a rat bastard, but God, I love going to Disney with the paw. All right, I'm sorry. I got you. Just an appraisal. My dad doesn't even celebrate birthdays. You think I'm getting Christmas gifts? Well, how old are you? I'm not, I don't know the right therapy speak for it, but I'm not minimizing your perspective or whatever. I think you have probably a good reason, but like, at a certain age, like I think I'm a personal believer that the birthday gift expectation should stop. Like, I don't know. 15, 16, you know, like that's the latest. That's my personal opinion. Yeah. I mean, I think 18 is the hard cut. I mean, not that you can't do it, but like you as the person being like mad that you didn't get anything. I feel like after childhood that starts getting weird. It's like not, like, if I get someone a gift for their birthday now I'm in my fucking 30s, so it's like that. But even 20s or whatever, it's like a nice gesture. I really thought about them. But if they are mad at me because I didn't get them something, it's crazy. That's crazy. That's how I think. But your parents, well, I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. There's two routes on it. Did they just forget your birthday altogether, don't talk about it? Or is it more like happy birthday, maybe they go to dinner with you or something, but you're like, I guess the real thing I'm getting at is like, I feel like expecting a gift specifically feels to me like too greedy. It feels greedy. I understand expecting like a little bit of notice or attention. It's just a nice thing to do for your parents. But I feel like expecting, you know, like, oh, I need a game or I need a whatever, you know? It feels like a little much. But every family's different. I understand you got different traditions. But that's where my head's at. But I also would, you know, if people just forgot your birthday, especially your parents year after year, it would be a symbol of a larger neglect, I think. A larger lack of interest in your life. That would be sad. Yeah. And also, like, if your parents ever do something experiential, I mean, one of the, like, here's an example. I'm not trying to, like, act high and mighty here, because when I was a kid, there's a memory I have where I feel like I was an asshole. And I was young. I mean, I was like 7 or 8. Okay? I wouldn't say I was old. But my parents had told me months ago that I could get the game Advance Wars for my birthday. And then on my birthday, they did something else. They took me somewhere to like a play place or so. I don't remember what they did, but they did something special. And I got upset because I wanted Advance Wars. Like, I was like, I couldn't be happy with the nice thing they did, because I really just wanted Advance Wars. And when I look back on it, I feel like kind of a dickhead, because I feel like they thought they were going above and beyond. Like, Advance Wars, I don't think they understood how important it was to me, and they were trying to do like a cooler thing. And instead, I was being kind of a shithead. You were in the right. Well, just to be clear, I did eventually get Advance Wars. I wasn't gonna forget about it. I did eventually get it. It was probably months later. I mean, I think my dad got pretty mad that I was mad, but eventually. This was for my 33rd birthday this year. Yeah, I was crying at the restaurant, screaming at my parents. I was fucking losing it, dude. This is very recent. I want Advance Wars. I have a twin sister. I'm 21, and I wouldn't complain, but every year on our birthday, they take her on a 1-week trip down south. I'm Canadian, and they leave me at home to watch the dogs and take her on a nice trip, so I feel like it's unfair. Yeah, that is unfair. That's fucking unfair. You're twins. You're twins, dude. It's the same birthday. Why are you left behind to watch the dogs? That's crazy. She must be the favorite, I guess. Damn, that's wild. That's wild, because it's not even like older child, younger child thing. It's like you're twins. Like, you both came out and they just said, no, we don't fuck with you. I never got any gifts for my birthday when I was younger, because we were so poor. Except on my 16th birthday, my parents bought me a cycle, and it felt so awesome. That's fucking awesome, dude. It's fucking sick. That's fucking dope. I mean, I remember, I told the story when my dad was on stream, but one of my best memories was when my dad got deployed to Germany. So we had to move from Florida. This is, again, I'm like 7 or 8 years old. 8 or 9, maybe. We had to move from Florida to Germany. And like, Florida as a kid was awesome. Every day was sunny. We were playing outside all the time. We were fairly close to the beach. And we moved to Germany in the dead of winter. And Germany was so cold and so gray and so depressing. And we didn't even live on base. We lived off base. So all the kids nearby spoke German. I couldn't even hang out with them. I just like was so sad. And my mom cried. She didn't want us to know, but she was crying. She was like walking around because she loved Florida. She had all these friends there. So it was like we were all just really sad. I mean, we grew to like Germany, don't get me wrong, but the first couple like month of moving there, we were just really sad. It was like very difficult to get acclimated to. And Christmas comes around, And it was like 98, maybe. It was like right after the N64 had come out. And and when we first moved to Germany, I was so lonely because I didn't have any friends there that I would sit in my room and I wanted to play N64. But I plugged it into the German wall outlet and it fried the fucking N64. It fried the N64 because they have different power systems. So it wouldn't work. So I was just fucking miserable. I got no N64. I got no... and I'm just depressed and sad. And on Christmas Day, apparently they were like fucking crazy. It's like Switches. They were very hard to get, especially in Germany. My dad waited in line for hours at like a German tech store and got an N64 and brought it home on Christmas as like a surprise. And I fucking lost my mind. It was, even as a kid, I could tell the fucking significance of that. It was so awesome. And not to spoil the story, we talked about it, but I jumped for joy. I was like the N64 kid. I lost my mind. And then I plugged it in and my games didn't work on it because they were NTSC and it's a PAL N64. So like it plugged in, but the games don't work. So we actually didn't get to play that night. We had to go out and fucking get more games. But I will never forget it. It was like, because I was so sad. And that made me so happy. My dada brought me the wrong gift that I asked for, and I cried so hard I threw up. So we went to the shops at midnight to buy the right one, but I felt so bad I didn't say thank you. Dude, you should apologize. Or you should reach back out and tell them you think about this. One thing I've realized from talking to my parents more, my mom and my dad, is like, the shit you remember, they don't remember it. Or they don't remember it that way. Or they don't realize how important it was. Like, you remember such different things. They have entirely different concept of what was like the key moments of your childhood than you do. And like, they love to hear about it. Friends too. Yeah. It's just, you almost never regret sharing that stuff. People like to hear it. It's like never too late to be like, hey, I thought about that and I wish I'd told you this or said this or, I remember my mom unintentionally forced me to drink rotten milk. I was traumatized. She didn't remember. I mean, if it's unintentional, that sucks, but I don't, it's like, I almost feel bad for her a bit. Unless it was intentional because you were being an annoying little shit, you know? What if you were just like, this is my plan. I'm gonna make him drink this fucking nasty ass milk. I threw up on my sister's pants and she insisted it didn't happen and I was dreaming. If you're the one that did the throwing up, why would she insist it didn't happen? Like, she has no reason not to lie about it. What if you were dreaming? What if you were dreaming? Like, wouldn't you want to forget this too? Just fucking agree with it. I played Pokemon Leaf Green and loved it so much. Eventually, I saved up enough money mowing the lawn so I could buy Fire Red. Turns out it was the same fucking game. Nintendo did me dirty. Bro, I feel like you could have figured that out before. I feel like you could have figured that one out. I feel like that's not on Nintendo. By the way, people were saying there was no internet. For Fire Red, there was internet. Fire Red I played when I was like 15, dude. There was internet for Fire Red. We're not talking about Pokemon Red. Oh, speaking of Pokemon Red, though, my parents wouldn't buy Pokemon Red for me. They wouldn't fucking buy it. My whole childhood has a long history of fucking complaining till I get a game. I wasn't able to get Red, and on the school bus to fucking school, there was a kid who offered to trade me Pokemon Red for my holographic Nidoking. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll do that trade. And I gave him the holographic Nidoking, and he gave me Pokemon Fire Red. And I plugged it in, and I was so fucking excited. I had the old-ass Game Boy with no fucking backlight. The fucking brick. God, it's old. And I played it, and 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 played it. Then I saved, went to bed, woke up, turned it on. There was no save file. There's no fucking save file. I was like, wait, what? So I tried it again. It doesn't save. Because the fucking battery, the little battery in the Pokemon Red was broken. He scammed me. That's why he wanted to trade it, because it didn't work. So instead of like getting mad at him, also he was much bigger than me. Instead of getting mad at him, instead of complaining, and instead of telling my parents because they didn't want me to have Pokemon Red, instead I just played the game every day for about 4 hours and tried to get as far as I could. And I remember the farthest I could get was like Erica's gym. I'd get just past Erica's gym before the batteries would die. And I tried everything. I tried like taking the case off, getting a battery ready, and then hot swapping it out. But no matter what, the second it loses power, you lost your... So I would just play the beginning of Pokemon every day. I was so addicted. And yeah, people are saying speedrunner. I mean, I didn't even know what speedrunning was, and I wasn't really speedrunning. But what I would unintentionally do is, first of all, pick one Pokemon and fast grind it. And then two, I learned how to do the fucking rock cave, Mount Moon or whatever, blind. I learned Mount Moon blind because I had to get, I made a little map in my fucking, my notebook, my probably Harry Potter notebook. Very core memory. I did a lot of fucking gaming addiction stuff when I was in Germany because I didn't have too many friends there. It was probably because I was so mad about the nuclear shutdown they started in 2003 and no one else wanted to talk to me about it. I was like fucking pissed about it. I was like, dude, we should not be shutting these down. We should not be shutting these down. And then no one wanted to listen to me, so I couldn't make a lot of friends at my age. Do you speak any German? I spoke a little bit when I was a kid. Again, I was not on an American school. I was in a NATO school. So it was kids from every European country. And it had pretty diverse teachers and backgrounds in teaching. The English was the language of the school, but there was a German class and everything. But I forgot it. This is all 20 years ago, but I don't remember a damn thing. Actually, the only German word I truly remember is Ausfahrt, which means exit. Because it's got fart in it, and I would laugh every time. It's when you're driving on the fucking Autobahn, all the exits are named Ausfahrt. And I would read it, and I would laugh, and I would say fart. Pretty much all the time. For like years. And it still hits. It's funny. Like, what a silly country. Why would you put fart in your... Is that why it's called fart in English? Because it exits your body? Yes. That's exactly why. It comes from the German Ausfahrt. That's correct. You figured it out. Very smart of you. Good thinking. Very wise. I remember when my snow globe was broke. Snow globe broke. I was inconsolable. My parents want to buy me a new one, but I said, it died. You can't replace it. I don't know why. You wouldn't fucking understand, Mom and Dad. You can't just replace a snow globe. It's a special bond. That's funny. God, there's so many. I remember. Dude, I got another vivid memory. I was gonna tell us when my mom comes on stream, but it might not be for a while. I don't remember exactly what happened. I think my mom wanted me to clean my room, and I hadn't done it. I don't remember the exact context, all right? She wanted me to clean my room, and I hadn't done it. And she'd asked me nicely, like many times. And I was supposed to organize my... I think I had to do like a deeper cleaning. Like I had to organize all my shelves and folders and bookshelf and everything. I had to take everything down. I had to organize it. Like I told her I was going to do it for a long time. I didn't do it. And then one day I came into my room and all the shit was on the floor. So like she had done basically the first step. She had taken all the bookshelves off and put on like just kind of to force my hand. Like it's all out there. All the clothes are on the floor. All the bookshelves. Like you have to just do it now. Organize it. It's all on the ground. And I remember that I thought she wasn't home. So I was just talking shit. I was just talking shit like with my door open. Like I was just like, why does she fucking do this? What? What? You know, I was like fucking, I was like losing it. You know, I was just fucking, and she walks around the corner and looks at me, and I try to pretend. I was like, no, I wasn't talking about you. For some reason, I thought that shit would work. Like, I just immediately tried to, like, backpedal out of it. I was like, no, you don't understand. I wasn't. And she's like, that shit did not work. She was mad. Oh, wait, one more story. While we're doing mom stories, I have one more story. Okay. Only boomers will know this, and even boomers might not notice. This is a boomer-ass movie. 1996. If you were not a kid in 96, you're probably not going to know it, but I'm going to test you, see if anybody knows this fucking movie. It's called Harriet the Spy. Has anyone ever heard of this movie? Harriet the Spy. From 96. Vaguely? It's an insane poll, right? Okay, maybe some of you know it, most of you don't. No big deal. Harriet the Spy is about a girl who's like, she wants to be a journalist. So she has this private notebook marked private, and she like spies on everyone in the town, all her friends and teachers and everyone. There's nothing, she doesn't find anything serious. It's a kid's movie. She finds out like this guy picks his nose, or like this guy doesn't clean up this dog's poop or whatever. Like it's all minor things, but she writes them all down. And someone finds the journal. Like she loses the journal, it gets found, and it gets passed around, everyone reads it, and they're all pissed at her because she's a snoop, and like they're really more embarrassed for themselves, but like it comes public, so they're all mad at her, and she gets bullied, and that's the story. And she ends up using her powers for good later. Anyway, I watched this movie. I think it's the coolest shit in the world. So I get a notebook just like this. I asked my mom, can you buy me a notebook just like this? And I write private on the front. But I'm not a journalist. Like, I don't have time to figure it out. And also, I'm in Germany. I don't even speak the fucking language. I don't know anybody in my town. So I just write in the book, like, my little brother smells. Like, my dad is too loud at watching sports games. Or I basically write a bunch of insults, like cheap childhood insults about everybody. It's pretty much everybody stinks. My mom stinks. My dad stinks. My brother, I just, and it's like mostly my family because that's all I have left. A couple people from school, a couple people from, but I'm just like roasting them. And it's not even like, it's like the most basic petty stuff. Anyway, I do this. And by the way, my obsession with this whole Harry the Spy thing lasts like 2 days. Like I'm over it real quick. I go back to playing video games. Anyway, I forget about it and I leave the journal in my room. Dude, one day I come home. It's not even for like another week and a half. It's not for a while. I come home. My mom has the journal in her hand, is opened, which by the way, it's marked private. Why the fuck is she opening it? She's got it open and she's crying. She's crying. She's crying. She's fucking bawling. And she's like, I can't believe you're using your journal for this. By the way, I swear to you, on Christ above, the meanest thing in the whole book is like, you smell. It's like, I have no depth. It's the most grade schooler. Like, this person eats boogers or what, it's nothing. None of it is, most of it's taken from the movie. But my mom, I don't think, knows about Harriet the Spy. So for her, this is such a blind side, She thinks I'm like the most antisocial kid. I'm a bully or I'm like, you know what I'm saying? She doesn't know the movie or the context of why I would do this. So from her POV, I asked for a journal to write a bunch of schoolyard mean things. And she is just despondent. And I just remember that. I remember like being so shocked at the level of her reaction because I didn't even remember it. It was like, it was a 2-day copy a movie thing and I forgot about it. Anyway, a little story that I haven't told anyone that story. That's I never told that on stream, right? So that's the first time I've ever told that. And my parents don't even know about that. I told that like one time. Did you do a Studio Ghibli version of yourself yet? I did one better. I did you one better. Yes, sir. Yeah, I wanted to test it because everyone was doing it, and so this is the photo I want. This is the photo I had on my fucking desktop. He looks like Pooh Bear. Why is he so cute? He does seem like a friendly. Honestly, this is soft power for China. If they get this photo out there, this is soft power for China. Xi Jinping seems very friendly. He seems like a friend. And then I was testing the other options. I also got the South Park version, which is like shockingly accurate. The South Park one's like fucking spot on too. You'd let him nuke me? Hey, thanks for the 44 months, Britain plays. Yeah, Speed's thing in China's been cool. I was talking, we were talking today. I'm just going to flow this by you. So obviously Aiden wants us to do a Patreon for Lemonade Stand. And we have to like figure out bonus things for the Patreon. That would be fun. And one thing I suggested, he was like, we need like a goal. I was like, well, what if we hit a certain number of goal of Patreons or whatever, patrons, and we do a live 2-week tour of China where we stream some of it and also do 2 episodes. And I think that would be so fucking cinema. I think that would be so cinema. I think that would be awesome. It's no iShow speed, but I think like us really, because I really want to experience different parts of China and like ask questions. I want to walk around with like Google Translate and like talk to people. I just think understanding China is like going to be important over the next 10 years. I'm like, I really want to do it on the ground. I can do a lot from reading, but not enough. What's this? Ronaldo's in a fighting game? What the fuck?
He's an icon. A legend. And now, a fighter. Let's do it.
That was fun.
Messi clears. Sorry, I'm kind of a soccer expert, and Messi clears. He's got a better ult. I think Big A, I feel like a stupid American asking this, but if you go to China, ask all the locals questions, will the government like get you or something? No, I don't think so. I honestly think if I go to China and I stream it, and I think the only thing that get me in trouble in China is if I started going saying free Taiwan. If I say free Taiwan, or if I say, I don't know, I like rile up anti-Xi Jinping sentiment, then I could get in trouble. But realistically, they don't care, dude. People try. Dude, Speed's in China right now doing a fucking million things. People are live from China every day. It's not... People over-exaggerate the risk or danger. And I think people will be surprised. I mean, people can see it now from live streams, but like, there's a lot of cool things I want to show off too. Actually, it's not even about showing good or bad. I want to show more realistic. It's a nuanced country, dude. I just want to show. I think people have a very one-dimensional view of China, and there's a lot of nuance to it and a lot of interesting parts of it. And I think it's important because I think it's the most relevant, I don't know, country over the next 10 years. Maybe like the Chinese American split or not is like such a big point of the next 10 years. Would you go to Taiwan too? I mean, I want to. I will. I will go to all this stuff, but it would be cool to do it with the Lemonade Stand and then be able to like record an episode there and like do some boys travel stuff. Isn't Twitch blocked in China? Bro, Jake and Bake is streaming from China every day. I'm sure I can figure it out. You should do a 24-hour work in a Chinese textile mill challenge. Sounds based. I would like to meet that Tony LC Sign guy. Can you please do a lemonade stand on the Australian housing market? We sort of talked about it today. We talked about the Japanese housing market, but I mentioned how different it was from the Australian and Canadian ones, which are disastrous. I talked about negative gearing in Australia. I talked about that kind of stuff. But it's a small part of the. You have tech issues in the U.S. trying to do IRL streams. No way a stream in China goes well. Well, first of all, there's good internet there in the major cities, so it would actually be easier. But second of all, that's why I want to go with Lemonade Stand, because then they'll bring our producer and everything will be set up and it'll be easy. Do you hear what I'm saying? Or Doug. Smart people will be there that know tech, and then I'll be able to just do the stream stuff. It'll be a fucking slam dunk. But if I go by myself, it's going to be a fucking pain in the ass. Can you do? I mean, I would love to do "What's Up Beijing" from Beijing. That'd be fucking cinema. That'd be cinema, dude. "What's Up Beijing" from Beijing. It would be fucking unreal. It would be unreal. It would be the culmination of 4 years of "What's Up Beijing's." Do they have Chili's in China? If they don't, I'm gonna bring it. I'm gonna bring Chili's to China. I'm gonna be like fucking Nixon. I'm gonna open up China to Chili's. You should do an American shocks Chinese locals with perfect Mandarin TikTok. Okay, so you're saying, Quack, I should learn the Mandarin language, one of the most difficult languages in the world, for the purpose of a single TikTok. I don't even have a TikTok channel. Where's the confusion? It just seems like a lot of. It seems like a lot of work. It would bang. It's also like, it's already a format of TikTok that's been done a million times. So it would be a lot of work for nothing. American shocks Chinese people with dog shit Mandarin. What if they're shocked because they can't understand what I'm saying? Like I'm just mispronouncing and mumbling everything, and they're so shocked that I'd even attempt it. And also, like, they speak English too. American shocks Chinese local by speaking English but louder. Do you know where McDonald's is? Holy shit, he's such a great communicator. He's such a great communicator. Okay. Okay. Avengers Doomsday is now in production. Holy Zoomer Pog. Holy shit, Avengers is back. Holy bat chest. No fucking way, dude. Oh, wait, I wanted to watch this video.
Well,
It's called The Slow Collapse of Long-Term Planning. I wanted to watch this. I don't know if I like the channel or not, but I like the title and thumb. What's up, Pay the Musician? Pay, we should play ball soon. Pay, why don't you ever play basketball with me? Simple question, Pay. It's because he's too busy being a weeb, dude. He's too busy watching anime all the time. Let's check. Pay talks anime. What's the latest video? When a character breaks the magic system.
Until very recently, I've had a noticeable aversion to classic fantasy media. If there wasn't a unique twist, the worlds of mages, knights, and dragons actually drove me away instead of drawing me in. How, in a genre of building fantastic worlds, do so many of them end up being the same generic?
All the Freerin fans losing their fucking minds. If you like Freerin and you're not watching Pay's video, you're doing yourself a disservice. Okay?
Why does something as magnificent as magic always seem to bore me? Magic should be fantastic, a fundamental element of the world that causes a cascading effect both large and small on everything around it. I'll admit, when it comes to fantasy, I have bias. But in a unique twist, within the last year, Freerin Beyond Journey's End challenged my predisposition. While it seems to follow a handful of common fantasy tropes, it constantly finds new ways to explore worn-out ideas. Yes, at first glance, Freerin's magic system and world seems just as simple, but there are surprising layers of depth.
It seems like
layers of depth.
they wave their spells and shoot gigantic Dragon Ball Z style energy beams at each other. Am I missing the mark? And it's awesome. It's badass. All right. Cool. I get it. That's fucking... Dude, I gotta tell you. Okay. God, what a Neanderthal it is to get the nuance at all. Relax. Dude, speaking of which, Pay's girlfriend, Rachel, had me read this book for book club called Blood Over Brighthaven. I talked about it on stream before, but it had the absolute... I like the book a lot. I'm going to be clear. I like the book a lot, but it had the most fucking transparent magic system. The magic system was, I'm not kidding, literally programming. The book was clearly written by a programmer. It was about programming. The magic system was, you have a fucking keyboard and you type in codes in a certain order to make a printed sheet that runs through a thing. It's it's literally programming. And so it's like I said Pay's girlfriend to transition. We're talking about Pay. And because the book is about like the first female wizard at this all-male wizarding academy, it's like it's probably the author's experience that she was a woman programmer at a, you know what I'm saying? Like it's clearly parallels because where they're not like, but it's just funny that the magic system is not like, it's not like alluding to programming. It is programming. Okay, let's watch this video. I'm not a manager! Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God.
While everybody and their chainsaw is fixated on US federal debt, there is another type of debt that has grown just as fast, and is most likely a bigger problem. Business debt now is at all-time highs and is approaching $14 trillion in America alone.
Sick.
Unlike the government, private businesses don't have the luxury of printing their own money in an emergency. And as interest rates have risen, they are starting to feel the squeeze.
I mean, that's true, but as 2008 and 2020 have shown, just because businesses can't print their own money doesn't mean they can't cry loudly about it until the government prints it for them. Which is what happens every time. So I wouldn't...
To make matters worse, most of this money hasn't been used to make productive investments. It's been used for financial engineering to make investors happy in the short term. This trend is the result of a business strategy that can explain the stagnation of companies like Boeing, Intel, and General Electric. And it's largely responsible for increasingly unstable stock markets, and it's also making that other debt situation much worse.
Yikes.
Now, the best part is that this has been tried many times before, and people know that it's not sustainable. But that's a problem for next quarter.
General Motors, when it comes to the financials of the company initiating a $6 billion stock buyback.
Bed Bath & Beyond filed for bankruptcy today. The company says profits took a big hit during the pandemic. They tried to bounce back by closing nearly half their stores, but it just wasn't enough.
Biden administration awarding Intel nearly $20 billion worth of grants and loans. That, of course, from the CHIPS Act. Company right now will
Intel,
receive
great American
$8.5
company.
billion in grants, but could get as much as
Okay, so back in the 1970s, companies had a problem. Their executives were just regular employees that were collecting a paycheck like everybody else.
Yuck!
Their paycheck was larger, but actually not that much larger than a regular employee. According to data from the Economic Policy Institute, the average CEO of one of the largest 350 companies in 1965 earned just over 20 times more than the average employee. This was partially because average workers earned more and because executives earned significantly less year to year. This was obviously a big problem, because it encouraged executives to hold on to their jobs long-term and not take too many risks so they could keep on earning this comfortable salary. Back then, the average tenure of a top executive was roughly double what it is today, and the average company spent roughly twice as much time in the S&P 500. At this time, most of the profits these companies made were reinvested back into the company itself to acquire new business, research and develop new products, and pay their staff.
Yuck!
Eventually,
Reinvesting into the business? I'm gonna vomit in my fucking mouth. If you don't use that shit on a stock buyback right now, I'm going to fucking lose it. Okay? You need 100x that CEO pay, and all the profits need to go. Listen, I don't know if you guys know this, but the total profit lifetime of everything Tesla has ever done is like $38 billion. I think we need to give Elon Musk a $55 billion pay package. I think we need to give him a little bit more than all the profit Tesla has ever earned in the history of the company, just to make sure that it's set up for the future.
Actually, shareholders figured out that it was better to pay these executives larger bonuses based on performance, especially performance that returned more money to them. Now, hot take alert, but this by itself is completely reasonable. Shareholders own the company, and they should make sure that there are systems in place to align employee incentives with their own objectives. And of course, their number one objective is getting a return on their investment. Where things did start to go a little bit off the rails, though, was when a law that significantly limited stock buybacks was repealed in 1982. This let executives use company money to buy back their own shares on the public market, which did a few things. The first thing was that it increased the share price even if the company wasn't actually doing any better. When this law was repealed, the average company in the S&P 500 had a price-to-earnings ratio of about 6.2, which meant 6.2 years of company profits would cover the price of the company's shares. Today, that PE ratio is over 36, which really just means that shares...
I was going to say it's 30 nowadays, but it's 30 fucking 6. Holy shit. The average for all 500, not even tech companies, that's crazy. That's fucking Looney Tunes.
Are roughly 6 times more expensive than they were in 1982 for the same amount of profit. This is great for existing shareholders, but makes the whole market a lot more questionable in terms of true value. Buybacks also make financial metrics like earnings per share look better, but not because the company makes more money, but rather because there are just fewer shares. Now, another hot take alert, but even this was arguably good for shareholders who enjoyed capital appreciation and tax-efficient stock returns. But as the late Charlie Munger once said, "Show me the incentive and I will show you the outcome." Stock buybacks are kind of like crack for corporate finance. They will get that stock price high even if the rest of the business is falling apart, or even if they are causing the rest of the business to fall apart. Stock buybacks started as an alternative to dividends that could be used when the executive team believed that the company's stock was undervalued. That eventually gave way as more money started to be spent on buybacks than dividends, and then more money was spent on buybacks than reinvestment into the business itself to fund R&D or workforce development. A lot of companies took it even further than this, and spent more on stock buybacks than the company was making in profit. They did this by borrowing money to buy their own shares back from their own investors.
This especially, it's slowed down now, but like 2021 era, tons of companies were just borrowing money to buy their own stock. And like all that does is short-term juice it so that the CEO can cash out, get a performance bonus and cash out. It's fucking crazy. Is it legal? Yeah, it's legal. It's encouraged.
Which is why corporate debt is at all-time highs. Now, for most businesses, this was clearly very dumb, but it pumps stock prices enough for CEOs to make absolutely enormous bonuses.
Yep.
The average CEO now earns more than 340 times more than their average employee. And with such enormous fortunes that can be made in such little time, it's very hard for anybody to not play the game. Of course, it's not sustainable. But that's next quarter's problem.
Dude, that's everything.
So it's time to learn how money works to find out.
Every business, every government, every country. It's like everyone's just like, let's get through the next quarter. Let's get through the next year. No, not every streamer. Not every streamer. I planned all this out long term. Facts. Just kick the can. Just like fucking, let's make it through this period. Kick the can, and it'll be the next guy's problem.
What happens when the next quarter finally arrives? This week's video is sponsored by ZipRecruiter. Running this channel takes a ton of hard work, and I couldn't do it without the amazing team behind the scenes.
I'm not going to use ZipRecruiter because I already have my employees. And I don't pay them, but they are my friends, okay? Me and Quack work together for the love of the game. I'm not going to ZipRecruit. R-Dubs, one of the world's greatest living mods. Why would I go to ZipRecruiter to find a fucking moderator?
Bad for workers, bad for the economy. Go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. ZipRecruiter.com/howmoneyworks. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/howmoneyworks. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. So, corporate buybacks have been bad for workers, bad for the economy, and worst of all, it's been bad for the investors. But people already knew this, and there is a reason that they simply don't care. Over a decade ago, one of these CEOs broke rank and wrote in an open letter that too many companies have cut capital expenditures and even increased debt to boost dividends and increase share buybacks. That was back in 2014, in what people thought was the peak of the buyback mania. Since then, quarterly buybacks have roughly doubled, despite interest rates being much higher, which would theoretically make businesses want to hold on to cash rather than borrowing it. But that's a problem for next quarter. By the way, the CEO that betrayed his executive comrades to raise the alarm about how share buybacks had undermined the market was none other than Larry Fink, the head of BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world. So yeah, it's pretty easy to blame the rise in short-term thinking on corporate executives using questionable financial strategies to make themselves incredibly wealthy. But they are really just a symptom of a much bigger problem that goes well beyond corporate America, and there are a few reasons why this is happening. The first reason is that there is now a lot more money to be made in value extraction rather than value creation. William Lazonick, a professor of economics at the University of Massachusetts, wrote about this in a now infamous paper titled Profits Without Prosperity. He noted that between the end of the Second World War and the early 1970s, most businesses became successful by creating value for consumers or other businesses.
Yeah.
Today, that's much harder, as companies are trying to keep up with their financial commitments to shareholders. Over time, more money for research and development has come from the government instead, as companies have spent what they used to spend on R&D on pumping up their own stocks. Today, corporate profits are at all-time highs, while a record number of companies are actually losing money. This again is largely the result of short-term business planning. As companies' price-to-earnings ratios have expanded, the best way for innovators to get money out of their ideas is not actually to run a business. It's to scale a business and then sell it. When average company PE ratios were 5 to 6, that means it would take 5 to 6 years for the business to cover its purchase price. Good founders would rather stick with their business because they could make that money back pretty quickly. Today, some valuations are easily as high as 100 times earnings.
Tesla!
So founders and early investors would be long dead before the company has had time to make more money than what they could just get by selling. Now, some of these companies could continue to grow, but a lot of them still fail. A lot of them never make any profit at all, but still make their founders very wealthy.
Dude.
Big existing companies.
I mean, they showed WeWork. WeWork's the total example of this. WeWork had a fucking absurd PE ratio. The founder cashed out for $1.4 billion, and the company went to zero. And the employees were laid off, and the investors lost money, and Masayoshi Son lost money. Everyone lost money but the CEO, who is now wealthy for life. It's a totally fucked system of value. He created nothing. He created a fake business that bought real estate and sold it in parcels for less than it was worth. It was a scam, really, but it's like a legal scam.
Don't mind this, because it lets them simply purchase the best ideas before they can compete with them, and they don't need to take the risks of funding their own technical development. Even still, the net earnings of the largest listed companies in America is claiming the highest share of GDP in history, which in plain English means corporate profits make up more of our economy than ever, with the exception of early pandemic stimulus. So where are these profits coming from? Well, there are only two customers left who still have money to fund these profits. The first is very wealthy people who have, so far, benefited from stretched asset values, but we spoke about them in last week's video. If there is, I don't know, some kind of shakeup that impacts asset markets, these people will cut back on their spending, which could create a bad feedback loop. Lower spending by the only people who can still afford to spend, leading to lower company earnings, leading to market drops, leading to further reduced spending.
This is what will happen in this year. This is what will happen.
Of course, the market can stay irrational for a long time, but this is one of the risks of having too much economic activity dependent on a small group of people. But don't worry, there is a backup. The other big spender is the government, who either directly through contracts or grants or indirectly through other spending has been such a big driver of corporate profits that you probably didn't even realize that I mixed up these charts.
They're the same picture.
Through contracts, schemes, deferments, subsidies, incentives, co-investments, bailouts, financial protection programs, offsets, bonuses, grants, public-private partnerships, guarantees, and intellectual property awards, there are limitless avenues for businesses to make money off government spending. This is not to mention new initiatives like the potential cryptocurrency reserve.
Yeah, but I mean, at the very least, the government isn't borrowing for these things, right? Like, at the very least, the government is at least whatever it's spending on to prop up the economy. It's like money that we've collected through taxes. So it's not like we're borrowing from future generations to try and keep things up in the short term.
Which will also largely benefit institutional asset holders, but that's a whole different discussion. Now, to be fair, regardless of party, over the last 50 years, the government has become an incredibly lucrative customer. Just federal government expenditure now accounts for more than 1/3 of our GDP, which is higher than even the total war economy of 1944. Other countries like the UK are higher, but here in America, we also have significant spending done by state governments as well, so it's not an entirely fair comparison. Business executives are not the only people guilty of looking out for their own short-term interests at the expense of wider long-term consequences. Government programs that put money into people's pockets, create employment, and promise to solve big problems are really easy to announce. But once they are operating, they are really hard to roll back, because nobody wants to be the politician laying off workers ahead of the next election.
Yup.
As Lazonic noted in his article, this has over time created a system of profits without prosperity. And now, even those profits are balancing on a delicate system of speculative wealth and unsustainable government spending. So yeah, I guess we gotta talk about it. The Doge in the room. Now, the disappointing part of all of this is that almost everybody agrees that cutting back on government spending is a good initiative that should make businesses less reliant on taxpayer money and the economy as a whole more fiscally sound.
Yeah.
But we have now built such a big debt-filled house of cards on such a precarious system that walking these programs back will take meticulous planning over years, if not decades, to avoid any runaway economic complications. Impulsive sweeping changes done.
This is actually, first of all, a good video. I agree with pretty much all of it. But this is a great graphic. It's just like, this is exactly what we're like, dude. Everyone's retirement in a few companies on a house of cards on top of a ton of government spending that we can't sustain.
If not decades, to avoid any runaway economic complications. Impulsive sweeping changes done over the course of weeks to grab some headlines is exactly the same kind of short-term thinking that got us into this mess in the first place. Realistically, the biggest source of fat that can be cut is the various cost-plus contracts awarded to companies with immense lobbying pressure. Even those cutbacks should be done slowly and carefully, and probably not be overseen by one of the biggest beneficiaries of government funding. We have asset markets reaching record stretch valuations, held up by record corporate and government debt, which can no longer rely on genuine household spending because their savings are at record lows and their debt is also at record highs.
It's just the end of the
now,
party.
This kind of short-term planning is nothing new. Human nature did not change in the 1970s. And before this turns into another episode of Angry Stickman points at historic financial data, the more important question is, what can be done about this? You should probably acknowledge that if you ever found yourself as a CEO of a major public company and you had the opportunity to secure a lucrative options package by doing a share buyback, you would probably do it. I mean, I know I would certainly do it. Executive compensation has become so generous that just 1 or 2 years of these bonuses can set your family up for generations. And if the company crashes and burns after that, it really doesn't matter. For you. Kinda sucks for the employees though. The same basic truth is true for starting a company. It doesn't need to be a viable business anymore. It just needs to shake things up that it gets it acquired. There are buyouts that happen every single day that would also comfortably set people up for life. Now, the solution to these problems are the same old boring solutions to almost every problem in corporate America. Regulate the financial fuckery that the CEOs are allowed to pull with their own stocks and control corporate consolidation. If people can only get rich slowly.
Dude, it's crazy. You don't even need new rules. These rules existed after the 20s. Dude, half of these rules were written after the Great Depression. And then we just removed them over 80 years. And now we're like, wait, what? Why the fuck are we back in the 20s? No, the 1920s. No enforcement happens? I mean, enforcement did happen in the 50s, 60s, 70s. All this stuff happened in America in living memory of people, in Joe Biden's lifetime. Like, these systems worked. And then I wouldn't say it's all Reagan, but Reagan is sort of the real marker of change, to where all these rules are getting rolled back and the taxes start getting lowered and the system starts to break. And it becomes more about finance games than what competitive markets are good at, which is like increasing efficiency and increasing growth. Just unfortunate.
Slowly, then the next quarter becomes their problem again. The last big problem is that a lot of people in leadership positions in businesses or the government have become extremely old. There is no point thinking about next quarter if you aren't going to be alive for it. Go and watch this video next to find out how we let this happen. And make sure to like and subscribe.
No, pretty good video. Pretty good video. I mean, that is a good summary of the fucking times we find ourselves in. Just the end of this debt-fueled speculative cycle. Especially with like government printing and debt. Propping up things that should have rightfully gone out of business and done worse. Asset values should be lower. And the economy would be healthier. Hey, Shark, my dad just gave me an earful about the deep state and George Soros. Is there any truth to the theory? It's 100% true. Our entire country and government is controlled by George Soros, including Trump. He is the puppet master. He is the mastermind. He is the pulling all the strings. And if you don't know that, you are living blissfully ignorant. Soros is behind Elon. Yeah, exactly. When Elon pays $1 million for votes, that's Soros bankrolling the whole damn thing. Chat, I am going to end early today. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with Games with Squeex, but I'm tired today. The podcast was long, and I play basketball, and I am tired, and I want to spend some time with Ari too, because I've been gone all day. So thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Sorry, I will gaming tomorrow with Squeex. It'll be fun. Have a great night. Let's raid somebody. How about like a spectacle or something? Is he live? Let's raid. Let's raid Shindigs, I guess. Oh, wait, is Falco live? Wait, is Nick live? Twitch.tv/Falco. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely raid him. He's playing Elden Ring. That should be funny. Yeah, raid Nick. I'm going to have... wait. Raid Falco. Yeah, give Nick some love. Okay, bye! Thank you for watching! Wish Futura Antonio luck on your interview tomorrow. Check out the videos. Bye!